Hey guys, so I'm just getting packed up for my trip this weekend, and I thought I'd take a second. A few of you guys have asked how I put together my food or what I take for food, and you've probably seen some of it on some of my trips that I've posted, but I thought I'd just kind of take you through what I'm going to be packing and how I would normally pack that for just a quick little weekend trip for a 3-season trip, not winter. This does not include winter. The temps we're expecting are going to be probably lows just below freezing, around 30 or so, highs in the low 50s. So kind of, your shoulder season, just not quite summer, kind of spring still. Anyways, let's dig in, and I'm going to show you guys what I do for my food on just, like I said, a short weekend backpacking trip. All right, so I think the best way to do this is just kind of to walk you guys through the food I've got laid out. You can see I've got day 1, day 2, day 3, and then over in this category is snacks, and that's kind of how I pack it. So you can see, I'll start here. You see I've got 2 food bags. I've got the green one and the red one. The green one is actually my meal bag. I'm going to be putting all my meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner in this bag, and that gets packed in my pack. And then this red bag is actually my snack bag. So I'll be putting all of these snacks into that bag, which actually goes on the outside of my pack. And I just find if I can split my food up like that, that it fits in the pack a lot nicer. If I can, and I have jammed everything into this one bag before, but when I do that, I find that it's just kind of, it's hard to get inside the bag. A lot of the packs that I've used an REI pack to try with this thing full, an REI pack, a Go Light pack, and the ULA packs, and they all seem to be not quite wide enough to get that bag in there comfortably. So I've really found that using the 2-bag method works the best, at least for me. So a typical day or typical weekend meal system kind of looks like this for me. I usually we'll eat breakfast at home before I leave, and then if I get up to the trail early enough, I like to have lunch. And now all of these meals are going to be self-made, kind of DIY, dehydrated meals, but you could supplement them with a Mountain House or Backpacker's Pantry or something like that. Obviously the cost is going to go up. So I've just got for my first lunch, bean burrito, which is dehydrated refried beans and salsa with some hot sauce, and a few tortillas to go with that. One other thing before I move on too is that when we're talking about lunches on the trail, a lot of people don't cook, and a lot of times I don't cook. But with the weather that we're expecting, with lows below freezing still, and by lunchtime it'll probably be 40, 45 or so. It's still going to be a little chilly, so I think having a hot meal is going to be nice. If this were summer or something along those lines, I might just do tortilla with some Spam, or tortilla with peanut butter and honey or something like that, where I don't have to cook. Okay, so we've got the bean burritos for lunch the first day. The dinners are all going to be fairly similar. I've got another dehydrated meal here. DIY, this one is beef stroganoff, and I have some of my DIY trail cake, which you can check out the video. I have that posted, how to make that. Really simple, really delicious. So dinner and dessert I've got right there. Day 1 is accounted for. And this is my go-to then for the next day for breakfast. If it's going to be a little chilly, I'll do 2 packets of oatmeal and a Pop-Tart. If it is a warmer weather trip, say summer or something along those lines, I will ditch the hot oatmeal. I don't want to cook in the morning for breakfast, and I'll just do some cold granola with powdered milk. Real easy for the morning. And you can actually, if you've seen some of my trips I've showed you, I actually just cook the oatmeal right in these bags. You can rip these open, pour boiling hot water right into them, and that way there's no cleanup. For lunch on day 2, again, keeping the same thought in mind for keeping a nice warm meal, I've got dehydrated sloppy joes with some flatbread, and that is excellent. Takes almost no water to rehydrate this, and this is I mean, there's like nothing there because just enough meat in there for 2 of the flatbread, 2 sloppy joes. Excellent, excellent lunch. Again, dinner here, same as the last one. I've got the beef stroganoff and some cake. And you know, when I'm out on the trail, sometimes I'll mix these around. And so if the second night I know that I'm not going to want beef stroganoff again, I might switch this up and do stroganoff for lunch and the sloppy joes for dinner. But as long as it's all laid out and I know I have enough meals. The next day, same breakfast, and then I have lunch because we're going to get out of there probably around lunchtime. So if we decide to eat lunch on the trail, I'll have something. And if we don't, then it's just a little bit extra, but it's not a big deal. But for this one, I've got some stuffed pepper or unstuffed pepper, which is pretty much like Spanish rice with some green peppers and stuff chopped up in it. It's really, really good, really yummy, and rehydrates really well. So those are my my meals. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 meals for the weekend trip, and those will fit into that bag, no problem. Now this would be probably enough food to get me by, but I like to eat, especially when I'm on the trail. I'm a fairly big guy, I burn a lot of calories, and so that's where this stuff is going to come in, these snacks. I have got a lot of snacks, especially for a weekend. I don't like to go hungry, so let's kind of walk you through these. In this first bag, I've got kind of my little snacks I can munch on anytime. I've got in here some little packages of fruit snacks, as well as some Slim Jims. There's enough Slim Jims in here to have 2 of them with each meal, and there's enough fruit snacks in here where I have 2 fruit snacks each day. So even that alone is probably good for most people, but again, I like to eat. So then I've got here Snickers bars, and these happen to be Snickers with almonds. I normally do nut rolls. You've probably seen that in other videos because they don't melt or get sticky or anything like that. But this is, like I said, a little bit cooler trip, so I'm not too worried about these melting in the pack. So I decided to bring some chocolate along, some Snickers. These are a great source of calories, and I've got a whole bunch in here. My plan is actually to probably share these with people. I usually do that around the campfire. I'll pull out these and we'll kind of pass them around with a couple people. So some Snickers bars and trail mix. I have the same philosophy on the trail mix as I do the Snickers bars. I'll probably eat half this over the weekend. The other half I like to just share with people. It's just kind of nice, you know, I do a lot of sitting around the campfire at night. I don't really go backpacking unless I'm going to have a campfire. I really enjoy it. It's a good time to get to know each other and hang out. And so trail mix, having food to share around the campfire is always a plus. And a lot of people that go lightweight, like the people I go with, tend to go really light on the food. And so maybe that's because they know I'm going to bring a lot. So anyways, I like to do the trail mix as a shared meal as well. So Snickers and trail mix will be a nice little shared stuff we can do around the campfire. And then my little secret here is I always bring a little ramen noodle pack. This is a spicy chicken flavor. I repackaged it because it comes in a big plastic bowl, but this is a supplemental meal. And so when I look at the rest of these meals here, it's enough to get me by, no problem. But I like to eat, you know, right before bed if I'm hungry. I don't like to go to bed hungry. And so that's where this guy comes in. And it's going to be 2 nights. And so either of these nights, if I'm feeling hungry or something, and I want something warm, I can throw this in the pot and cook it up and have something warm to eat. So I know everybody's got their own opinions on what to do for food and all that. And the best thing, I'm turning around, and the best thing I can really recommend, guys, is just to get out there, experiment, try it out, figure out what you like to do, what you like to eat, and what your budget is for it, because that does matter. Doing all the meals myself, I'm not really spending anything more than what I probably would eat at home, except for maybe, you know, a couple bucks for the snacks, which I wouldn't normally have at home. So the cost for me is very minimal. The dehydrator has paid for itself time and time again, opposed to doing the mountain houses, which are, you know, $7-8 a meal. For probably $7 or $8, I made, you know, 5 meals with my dehydrator. So it really pays off. And but yeah, get out there, try stuff out, figure out what you like, and hopefully this was helpful for some of you that are maybe interested in different ideas for food, or in how to pack your food, or if you're just new to backpacking in general and you're not sure what to pack, how to pack it, or anything like that. Hopefully this was helpful. So you know, post in the comments below, let me know if you have any questions. All right, so one thing I wanted to show you before we take off here is what you can do. Some people like to do this. I usually don't, but I'm feeling like I'm gonna spoil myself this trip a little bit, and I'm gonna do something different for my first meal. So one thing a lot of people like to do for their first night there is pack a really nice meal. Something that's gonna spoil, like meat or something that you normally wouldn't be able to take backpacking. So I'm actually gonna ditch this meal, this first meal. Actually, I'll keep my cake. And let me show you what I've got planned for night one. This is very not typical for me, but a lot of people will bring steak or brats or something like that for the first night. So I'm going all out. I've got beer brats here. I brought extra. I'm probably going to eat 3 of them, which will leave 3 more that I can share with other people. Again, sharing food is always nice. So I'm bringing 3 for me. I've got 3 flatbreads I'm going to use as buns because the buns will get smushed in my pack. And then I've got a baked potato in tin foil. I can cook that in the fire. An ear of corn. That's going to be awesome. And I'm going to just roast that in the fire too. And then I've got my cake that I kept. So that is actually going to be my meal for night one on this trip. I wanted to show you what I normally do, and then also maybe kind of touch on and show you guys what some people like to do on the first night. I've seen people do steaks, brats, pork chops, chicken, all sorts of things on the first night. Again, if this was winter, I'd be bringing stuff like this for every night, but being that we're actually carrying everything on our backs and not in a sled, and it's not cold enough to keep the meat, just going to do this for the first night. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the trail.